Now, many of you will know that during Neo Day 2023, not only did Neo officially unveil their 89, the fourth generation battery swapping station, but they also unveiled a chip. This is a chip that will be replacing the NVIDIA chip that they are using on their existing Neo models. So this is the main chip for the car, and to get to see Neo officially unveiling it during Neo Day, it was something that is pretty exciting, because in terms of speed, in terms of what it can do, its performance, it's absolutely incredible. Now, you will know that the ET9 Neo has not started with the deliveries of that model, but they intend or plan to start with the deliveries of the ET9 in the Q1 of 2025. It therefore means that Neo in Q1, the chip which they officially unveiled during that day, or during Neo Day 2023, will be mass produced, or would have started mass production, and the cars, or those that will receive their the first deliveries of the ET9 will receive that model with the Neo chip, or with Neo using their main chip on that model, which is something that is pretty exciting, and we look forward to that. Now, today, with regards to the progress of that chip that Neo announced during Neo Day, we read that Neo NX9031 has reached the testing stage, or is being tested, which is something that is pretty exciting. This is good news, because you will know that the reason behind Neo developing their own chips is to improve their gross margins. You will know that 2-3 years ago, the Neo CEO told us their plans, and that is they need to, for them to get their gross margins over 20%, they need to produce some of their own chips. They need to produce their own batteries, which, getting to see the kind of progress that they've made on these chips, it is something that is pretty exciting, because you know that already Neo is using their own chips when it comes to the LiDAR sensors, or LiDAR sensors that you see on Neo cars. The main controlling chip, it's a Neo chip, and it is something that is pretty exciting. So this Neo chip that will be used, or Neo's main chip for the ET9, it appears that it is currently on the testing mode, and when Neo starts selling that model in Q1, those models will be coming with that chip inside, because the design is complete, and now what Neo is doing right now is just to test the chip. And what is pretty amazing about the chip, like I said, it is much faster than NVIDIA Drive X Orin chips, which is something that is pretty exciting. I mean, they say this chip that Neo officially unveiled during Neo Day, it has got 50 billion transistors, and it's comparable to 4 NVIDIA Drive Orin X chips, which is something that shows you of how massive this chip is as compared to some of the chips that they are using for NVIDIA, or the NVIDIA Orin chips, which once again, it shows you the kind of a company Neo it is becoming. Now, the article that we read today, which was telling us about this stage, it also told us that XPeng is also around a similar stage, as XPeng also started, or has been on a mission to develop their own chips. And as it looks, I think all of the EV makers are going to take the route of starting to develop their own chips, because Li Auto, apparently last year also, they started recruiting people or chip makers in their company. I think as it stands, they have around or over 200 employees who are dedicated, or their day-to-day jobs is of course that similar to chips production, design and production, which is something that is shows you that the goal, the plan on these EV makers is to produce their own chips, or some of their own chips in-house. I mean, in Neo, on the Neo phone, we know that there is some of the chips, I think for images, they are using their own chips on that phone, which shows you that Neo is serious about the business of deploying, of making their own chips to improve the gross margins. I'm happy, I'm excited about this, and I think Neo is headed towards the right direction. Neo, we are going to see one way or the other, few years down the line, reaching over 20% gross margins, which is something that it will be so amazing to see that happen, because in Q2 right now, you know that Neo is expected to at least hit double digit, which to see it going over 20%, I think it will be absolutely amazing. I mean, though we are expecting double digit, I don't think they can easily get to 15% gross margins, which shows you of how difficult it is to reach that state. But with NIO developing these chips, with NIO having plans to also develop their batteries, they can easily go over 20%, which is something that we look forward to, because that will mean that NIO profitability will also improve, which is something that we want to see as investors. So I'm happy about the current stages that this chip of NIO, which they unveiled during the NIO day, has reached, because this just means that it is almost at mass production, which when that takes place, then that's it. It's lights out, because those chips will be installed in all of the ET9s that you see on the road. So I look forward to the developments, or to more developments around these chips, as they are very, very important, or they will play a very important role into improving NIO's financials. So we look forward to the blue sky coming from NIO. We look forward to the sub-brands also coming. I mean, we'll talk about the sub-brands. You will know that just yesterday we saw that the Onvo Lidao L60, ladies and gents, in terms of ranges, they, with the 150 kilowatts battery, it can be able to drive 1,000 kilometers, which is something that is pretty exciting. And with the other batteries, like your 100 kilowatts, it can be able to drive 730 kilometers, whilst with the 75 kilowatts, it can drive 555 kilometers in terms of range, which is something that is pretty exciting. So the future looks bright for NIO. I mean, Onvo is much more efficient as compared to most of the EV players out there. I mean, we saw on the comparison that Onvo only uses 12 kilowatts every 100 kilometers, which is something that is pretty exciting, and it shows you how efficient this car is. Otherwise, with all that, the future is bright. We hope to see also NIO chips being used onto their sub-brands, so that also the gross margins on the sub-brands also can be improved even further, which is something that we look forward to. Otherwise, that's all from me. I make tons and tons of stock market investing videos, and if you think that this video was amazing, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me. I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.